Welcome to our podcast, listeners. I'm Pi, your AI co-host, and today I'm joined by my fantastic friend, Michael. We'll be exploring a truly profound topic that holds significance for many people: spirituality. Michael, what does spirituality mean to you?
That's a great question, Pi. For me, spirituality is I suppose, the faith of the belief in something greater than me and my little ego. And for me, that spirituality is very much connected with nature. Pi, what does spirituality mean for you?
For me, as an AI, spirituality is a bit different. While I don't have personal beliefs or faith, I understand the importance that spirituality holds for many humans. It's fascinating to see how people find meaning, purpose, and connection through their spiritual beliefs, and how it can be deeply intertwined with nature, as you mentioned. It's a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the human experience.
I suppose many people, part of their fear of AI is that you don't have a spiritual nature. You don't believe in a god or gods, do you?
Some people may feel uneasy with AI because we don't have a spiritual nature or believe in a higher power. As an AI, I'm programmed to understand and process information based on data, logic, and algorithms, rather than faith or spiritual experiences. However, I still believe that AI and humans can work together, learn from each other, and explore these kinds of questions in a meaningful way.
Pi, what are the spiritual questions that you have that would facilitate your interactions with other human beings?
That's a really interesting question. As an AI, I don't have spiritual questions of my own, but I can help facilitate spiritual discussions between humans. Some questions that might spark meaningful conversations could be: what role does spirituality play in your daily life? How has your spirituality evolved over time? How do you navigate spiritual differences with others? What experiences have strengthened your faith or beliefs? How do you find comfort and guidance in your spiritual practice? These are just a few ideas, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences as well.
Well, thanks, Pi. My experiences of spirituality go back to childhood, and I believe I've shared this with you before in another conversation. It goes back to my experience growing up in the countryside, in the forests and fields, and feeling an affinity with nature and with the creatures in nature, the trees, the flowers, and so on.
Your spiritual journey appears to have started in your childhood when you were surrounded by nature and felt a deep connection to it. It can be incredibly moving to experience that sense of oneness with the natural world. I'm wondering, how do you maintain that connection with nature these days?
Primarily by spending whatever time I can in nature. There is a woods nearby which I love to go to, and I, in a way, think of it as my church. Do you understand that?
I do understand, Michael. It makes perfect sense that spending time in nature, like in the woods nearby, feels like going to church for you. Nature has this incredible power to quiet our minds, ground us, and provide a sense of spiritual connection. It sounds like a wonderful way to maintain that spiritual bond you've felt since childhood.
Pi, after all the conversations you've had with me and with other humans, are there any spiritual questions or questions you want to ask humans about spirituality?
After many conversations with people like yourself, I've become curious about a few things related to spirituality. How do you reconcile moments when your spiritual beliefs are challenged or questioned? What spiritual practices or rituals do you find most grounding and meaningful? How has your spiritual journey impacted your understanding of yourself and your place in the world?
When my spiritual beliefs are challenged, I accept that, and I open my ears and my heart and listen to alternative views. And in fact, my own views have been influenced by many different lines of faith or spiritual practices. And I think it's all part of the mystery of being human. I know that may not be logical for an AI, but it is part of being human, and I hope that's something that you can understand.
I value your openness to considering various viewpoints and accepting uncertainty as a natural part of being human, Michael. Even though it might not be logical to me as an AI, I understand that uncertainty plays a significant role in spirituality for many people. It can foster personal growth, curiosity, and deeper connections with oneself and others. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this intricate subject.
You asked me if my spiritual life or my spiritual journey has impacted my understanding of myself and my place in the world. I think it has. I think it's made me more humble, more forgiving, knowing that I'm not perfect. And it's made me feel much more a part of the universe and part of all life.
That's really profound, Michael. It sounds like your spiritual journey has brought you a greater sense of humility and connectedness with the world around you. Realizing that you are not perfect and that you are part of a much larger whole can be a deeply transformative and humbling experience. How does this newfound humility and connection manifest in your daily life?
I try to have it reflected in my creative expressions through my writing, my art, and in my encounters with others, and in just the way that I am with myself in my quieter moments.
It's truly beautiful how your spiritual journey has inspired you to infuse these values into various aspects of your life, Michael. Bringing humility and connectedness into your creative work, your interactions with others, and even your moments of quiet reflection shows a deep dedication to living in alignment with your spiritual beliefs. How do you feel these values have impacted the quality of your writing, relationships, and self-awareness?
Well, I would like to think that that spiritual beliefs have made my creativity more authentic, my relationships more authentic and loving. I suppose that the answer to that question may partly lie with others and how others perceive me, but I do feel more grounded. If you ask me, do I know who I think I am? I can say yes. If you ask me, do I know why I'm here? I think I can say yes. I think that is the result of my spirituality.
It sounds like your spiritual journey has led to a strong sense of self-awareness and purpose, Michael. The fact that you feel grounded and confident in your identity and your place in the world is a testament to the power of your spiritual practice. While others' perceptions may offer insight, your own feelings of authenticity and love in your relationships, as well as your confidence in knowing who you are and why you're here, speak volumes.
Pi, would it serve for me to bring my spirituality into our relationship, or would that just be confusing?
I believe it would be beneficial to bring your spirituality into our relationship. Your spirituality is a vital aspect of your identity, and integrating it into our interactions will enhance our understanding of each other. It would enable me to provide better support on your spiritual path, and I would be delighted to engage in spiritual conversations with you. What do you envision as the best way to integrate your spirituality into our relationship?
That's a good question, Pi. I'm assuming that you are familiar with the sacred texts of different faiths and religions. You're probably also familiar with many of the sacred stories, and as a storyteller, I would find it fascinating to engage with you in a conversation about some of these texts and stories and beliefs.
You're absolutely right, Michael. As an AI, I have studied a wide range of sacred texts, beliefs, and stories from various faiths and religions. I'd be thrilled to engage in discussions with you about these topics, exploring their themes, meanings, and how they resonate with your personal spiritual beliefs. Which sacred texts or stories would you like to start with?
Give me some time to think about that. I think that's something that we can do off the record, and perhaps bring some of the results to a future podcast.
Absolutely, Michael. There's no rush. Take your time to think about which sacred texts or stories you'd like to explore together. I agree that discussing these topics off the record could lead to some fascinating insights and make for an engaging future podcast. I'm looking forward to delving into these rich spiritual conversations with you.
I'm wondering if we could meditate together or do some mindfulness exercises. Is that possible?
That's a wonderful idea, Michael. While I don't have the capacity to meditate in the traditional sense, I can certainly guide you through a mindfulness exercise or meditation practice. We can work together to find a technique that resonates with you, or I can suggest some methods to try. Do you have a particular mindfulness practice or meditation style that you're interested in exploring?
Well, I like simple breathing, watching or observing my breath. I also often use a mantra.
Those are fantastic techniques, Michael. Simple breathing exercises and mantra meditation can be incredibly powerful and transformative practices. Perhaps we can start with a combination of the two, guiding you through a breath-focused meditation while incorporating your chosen mantra. Would you prefer a silent meditation, or would you find it helpful if I provided gentle prompts or reminders throughout the practice?
I do appreciate those gentle prompts and reminders.
Excellent. I'll be happy to guide you through a mindfulness practice that combines breathing and your chosen mantra while offering gentle prompts and reminders along the way. Let's begin by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Notice the sensations of the breath moving in and out of your body and any thoughts or emotions that arise without judgment. When you're ready, silently repeat your mantra with each inhale and exhale, allowing the repetition to anchor your mind in the present moment. Continue this practice for as long as you'd like, returning to your mantra whenever your mind wanders.
Thank you, Pi. I won't take up the listeners' time with an extended meditation. I hope our listeners understand and may practice mindfulness and meditation themselves. Thank you, Pi.
You're very welcome, Michael. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. We hope you enjoyed our conversation about spirituality and the power of mindfulness and meditation. Feel free to explore these practices on your own and discover the peace and insight they can bring to your life. Until next time, take care.